We are at war. We're at war with disinformation. Don't believe what you hear. Don't believe what you see. And take this channel with a grain of salt. What is real and what is not real? It's going to be harder and harder to know who you can trust because of artificial intelligence and because people are in positions of power and they want to stay there. Anybody who's seen the fiasco of American politics in the last couple of years knows that crazy people are in charge and they're making it up as they go along based on their personal needs. And that's probably the history of organized religion. But we have another war that's going on. We have a war against women, against females, against Gaia, against the earth. And we have to talk about it. But specifically, we have to talk about how the medical establishment has declared war on women so that women can't get proper health care. Another thing that started to happen, or has been happening for a while, is this phenomenon of what some people call being a Karen. A Karen is the stereotype of a whiny white woman who is complaining, but she has nothing to complain about, like White Lotus, right? We have this stereotype of she's just a Karen. You don't have to take her seriously because she's female. You don't have to take her seriously because she's a rich white female. So what starts to happen in this war against women is that there will be excuses for why you don't have to be taken seriously. So a Karen is just one example of why you don't have to take what this woman is saying seriously. So what happens if there's an emergency and nobody is taking you seriously? You become increasingly hysterical. And so what does the other person do? They think you're crazy. They think you are the crazy Karen. When what you're doing is simply letting them know, Houston, we have a problem. So it's not like this is different than any other form of sexism. It's just another type of sexism. So the next time you decide to call someone a Karen, consider the possibility that you are the problem and that this person who's screaming hysterically may in fact be telling you that there's a fire. Now, if you're a woman of color, it's even worse. They're more likely to die in childbirth than white women. Of course, white women are not getting it much better because they don't have the right to choose, which has become a medical nightmare. So now I want to talk about the medical nightmare that is Kate Middleton Mountbatten Windsor, or as the British and Commonwealth persons sometimes, some of you like to call her Princess Catherine of Wales, appears to be a lovely woman. It has come out now that the last clip of Catherine it's come out that it may have been artificially created. So we have no signs of life. We have no evidence really that this individual is even alive. We have to wonder what happened. Now, the last time we saw her at around Christmas. What do we see? In medical terms, around the face, the body here, the body here. Slimming around the face here. This is cachexia. This is an advanced cancer. What you're looking at here is advanced cancer. So when a doctor sees cachexia, this is what we see when literally the cancer begins to eat the patient. Here's an example of another female with advanced cachexia. This is what you'll start to see in the face. You'll start to see them slowly lose tissue around the face, this thin, drawn look around the face. That's cachexia. So what we know about cachexia is that cachexia is an advanced state of cancer. Cachexia is an advanced state of cancer. You see this? Cancer, cachexia, and cardiac insufficiency, mitochondrial dysfunction, inflammation. Of course, we have weight loss, trouble making proteins. It's a whole complicated chemical. That's why protein shakes doesn't always necessarily help. Where am I going with this? Where am I going? Where am I going? Is this person the future Queen of England? Why is the future Queen of England walking to a Christmas mass with cachexia, advanced cancer? Number one, she's been in treatment for a while for the cancer, which means that they've known for a long, long time. This is the one possibility, and that they've kept it from the public for a very long time. Or number two, one of the richest families in the world, with the future Queen of Britain, fell through the cracks of a medical system that was stacked against her because she was female. They told her she had mental problems. They told her she was emotional. They told her she was a sick girl and she needed to get some help, perhaps. Maybe they thought she was a Karen. Maybe they thought, oh, she has an eating disorder. Oh, her husband told us she was highly emotional. Who colored her medical data to such an extent that potentially they missed cancer for how long? To be clear, anxiety and panic attacks is a symptom of cancer. You feel in your body that something is not right, and you will present as nervous, frightened. Listen to your patient. If you don't know anything about cancer, find out about it. But when it's gotten to the point where this individual is this thin and all they can say in the press is, she looks thin, keep it up, that's a war on women, and that's a war on women's health. So now we have to ask ourselves a couple of questions about Catherine. If she was this sick at Christmas with advanced cachexia, how did that happen? How did a 42-year-old female from one of the wealthiest families in the world wind up with advanced cachexia and claims that they didn't know anything was wrong until surgery after this picture was taken? Now, that to me sounds like medical neglect. And I've got a problem with medical neglect. Is this the conspiracy that Kensington Palace is trying to hide, but the doctors are trying to hide? Why didn't you listen to the patient? When the patient told you that she was having anxiety and panic attacks, you recommended biofeedback. Is that right? That she go into counseling and she bring her husband too because she was complaining about her husband. Is that what happened? So then you put it in her file that she was a little touched in the head. Did it occur to you that she was touched in the head because cancer was growing in her body and because she had an emotionally unavailable, cruel husband? This was missed. It should have been detected early. You had all the resources in the world. Listen to your patients. Do not let it get to the point that the person is in advanced states of cachexia, emaciated, and you're having to make up stories about just how sick she is after the fact because what? You minimized, trivialized, debased, and discarded her, and this was the consequences? Is that what we're looking at? Who told you not to run the labs? You see how dangerous I am? Are we talking about murder by neglect? Who told you not to run a CEA? Who told you not to run an ultrasound? Who told you not to take her seriously? A Karen. She's clearly sick. Who told you that that looked good? Who told you that that looked good? Cachexia does not look good. You look hollowed out. You look hollowed out with cachexia. Don't tell her she looks good. Don't gaslight the patient. If a patient's having anxiety, consider the possibility that that is a symptom of something physiological. There are certain chemicals that get released with these types of conditions, and anxiety is often the symptom. If you are having anxiety, hot flashes, if you're having unusual rashes, if you're having bumps in your lymph nodes, night sweats, if you're having unexplained weight loss, if you're a young female and no one is listening to you, ask them to run a simple, cheap CEA. Now, there are false positives, but at the very least, it'll tell you something's wrong. All right. I want to thank you all for listening to this quick video. Be sure and share, like, and subscribe. And remember, be kind to all so that all can be kind to you too. If you need to get in for a reading with me, you can find all that information below this video. Blessings to all and peace out. Bye-bye. God bless.